Okay, so I'm going to walk through the speed prep warm-up. This is just one way that you can prepare for sessions, especially sprints. I'll make a separate video about different forms of warm-ups, but if you want to do kind of my form of a dynamic warm-up, or I call it speed prep warm-up because dynamic warm-up sounds terrible. Speed prep sounds cool. That's a big thing, is just using different kinds of language to kind of convince yourself to, or just to like show yourself other ways of moving. So I always like starting off with some kind of extensive movement. This is like if I'm by myself. So I might do pogo hops, might do a barefoot jog, I might do like throwing a tennis ball against the wall and just jumping around, but like something that's light. I'm basically just trying to practice being really bouncy and elastic and reactive to the ground, and just trying to get moving in a light way. So, this is like the most basic stuff you can find. Then we'll move into a rapid. So this stuff looks like running drills or sprinting drills, like A skips or B skips or whatever. That's not the point at all. Partly it's like I just don't know enough about running mechanics to provide anything useful in that sense. I just provide more concepts and methods you can apply to your own stuff. So I'll call this rapid work. So like this are just high knee switches. And so the point isn't to work on getting your knee high. The point is to just practice moving fast. So for this, I'm just trying to switch which knee is in front as fast as possible. Like that's the only objective here. It's just taking my left knee in front and then flipping my right knee up as fast as I can. And then you do the same thing, you go doubles. So I go 1, 2, 1, 2, or I'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so it's partly rhythm, it's partly timing, it's just stuff like that. Noah is talking about something. Next up, dribbles after this. So it's just fast high knees. So again, it looks like running mechanics, it's not. I'm just trying to get off the ground as quickly as possible, just really rapid feet. You can also do them where your knees don't travel high, and it's literally just your feet just tapping as rapidly as possible. I think that's also a great way to warm up too. So that's a good one. Also line hops like this are great. So going lateral line hops, forward line hops, single leg line hops, same idea. You're just trying to move as fast as you can before you sprint. So forwards, backwards, you go on a plate, off a plate. Next up, striding. So in the program it says plyo skips or slow sprints. These are plyo skips, skips for height, skips for distance, speed skips. I just call them plyo skips because it's kind of a reminder of what they're actually working on. When I see a lot of people warm up, the skips are not very intense, but plyometrics need to be intense in order for them to be plyometrics. So here you're jumping as high as you can. This one is for height. As soon as I hit the ground, I got to turn over fast as I can, so it's trying to be really quick off the ground there, but also maximum effort to get off the ground for height. Next up, same thing, just distance, another variation. Then speed, so now I'm skipping just as fast as I can. Imagine you're within the laser gates now, so just max speed, skip. Next one, single leg bounds, same idea, working on strides. So now we're getting closer and closer to actually sprinting. So just bounds for distance, good stuff. Next up, prime times. So this is taken from Chris Korfist. Most of what I have learned about sprint mechanics and positioning is from Chris Korfist and Joel Smith. Those are the two guys who have kind of like really picked things up from. So prime times are just working on a few things. So one, they're working on hip extension and having your sprints be driven by your glutes extending your hips backwards, and then hitting the ground right beneath your torso to only push backwards rather than pulling yourself forwards. So it's purely a pushing movement. Also your torso being stable while the legs are kind of whipping rapidly around it. So here, straight legs, I'm kind of going more for frequency here and not big pushes. So here, I can back that up. So prime time's going really fast feet. You can go faster here, like not worried all about speed. And now I'm going for distance. So now, same movement, straight legs. But now I'm actually trying to go far with each push. Same thing, but with a slight knee bend. So you can see my knee is kind of bent right there. So again, getting closer and closer to actually sprinting. So it's like a fixed leg position in that my knee isn't flexing while I hit the ground, but I'm still trying to use my glute to push myself backwards. And then slow sprints. So slow sprints are what I call any kind of sprint that is externally constrained to not let you actually run your fastest. So they're inherently slow. So an example here, wooden dowel on my back. I'm sprinting as fast as I can, but I'm going to sprint faster without this dowel than I would with it. So it's just a way to practice the task of moving fast, but still kind of building up to your actual top speed. So that are slow sprint. That's a slow sprint. You can also do things like no arm sprints, like arms crossed in front of your body, arms overhead. Dowels are great, overhead behind your back, in front of your body, holding a medicine ball, pulling a sled. Anything that externally restrains you from sprinting your fastest. Also things like your eye positioning, like looking at a certain object, like looking to the left or looking to the right. That's also useful too. So anything in there.